about 2 years ago, I had an email. The basis of the email was kind of, hey Tim, I'm doing marketing for a professional wrestler in Japan, and he was looking to get new entrance music. Little did he know that I was already a fan of said wrestler, Tama Tonga, and this was kind of like my opportunity to like, man, I have a chance to kind of like be a part of that. I told Gus, yeah, I'd be more than happy to give it a shot.
Ain't nobody really than Gorilla. Ain't nobody really than Gorilla. I said, ain't nobody really than Gorilla. Ain't nobody really than Gorilla.
Fast forward, you know, some time, and they hadn't really hit the rebrand reset on him, and he was kind of pushing away from the singles stuff, and he was in the tag team Guerrillas of Destiny with his brother, and they were, you know, kind of red hot and doing their thing, and you know, IWGP heavyweight tag team champions multiple times, and I was like, man, maybe that's not going to happen, maybe the new theme isn't going to happen, but that's fine. So this past, I want to say it was July, Tama hits me up, sends me a message and says, hey Tim, what's going on? One of those other themes, do you remember one of those other themes that you sent me? And I said, yeah. He said, what's going on with it? I said, nothing. And he said, I think it would be good as a theme for me and my brother in GOD. And I said, all right, bet, let's do it. My creative process for the theme, the only real difference was, instead of me producing something for an artist to tell their story on, this had to be telling part of the story. So I started the entrance theme out with the same progression and same format that I usually start any record out with, and that is with some sort of melody or chord structure. So I went into this plugin I use a lot called Vengeance that has some really cool sharp sounds, and I came up with this kind of main melody or main riff that you hear throughout the song. And I liked it because it was kind of frantic and hectic, and it cut real sharp through, so it had that aggression. And then once I had that going, it kind of set the tone for the drums for me already, because I already heard the drums. So I went from that literally straight into the drums. And what happened with that was I went with the kick, because I heard the kick first. And then I layered that kick with another kick to give it a more full feel. And then came the snare. And then I wanted to layer that snare with another reverb snare, because I knew in the arenas it would play off real well. So I went ahead and added like a verb snare to underneath it. After that came the hi-hats. So after I added that snare layer, I added these marching stomps that I found to kind of fill in the little in-between parts. So I had the meat of the track after that. From that point forward, it was just, what can I do to kind of enhance the feel? So I added some chants. And since it's Bullet Club, I obviously had to cock the gun and fire off some shots. So when you add back in the main melody, you pretty much get the record. But I knew that I had to build it to make it bigger. But I loved what I had at that point, so I needed to add a low end. I had to go 808. And the 808 is what really, really kind of took it to the next level. So the energy was there. After that, it was just add an ARP and add a piano in there to kind of add a little bit of melody underneath. So that was pretty much the original that I had sent Tama, that he was a fan of and that worked out. So about a month before Wrestle Kingdom, he asked if I could do a couple things. He wanted to know, one, if I could add a hook to it, and two, if there was a possibility to have kind of a CB radio transmission as an intro. And I said, yeah, sure, just give me a couple days. So immediately when I got off the phone with him, I called the first person that came to mind for the hook, and that was a rapper I know named Kashis Keyz. He's a good friend of mine, so I give him a call and I said, hey man, I need a favor, and I'm hoping you can be the one to do it for me. And I told him the situation, and he said, I'm on it. I got you. Just send me the track. So I emailed him the track, and then also sent him a couple video highlight packages of God, so he could get a feel for them and everything. So when he came in, he laid down this hook.
Ain't nobody really than guerrilla tactics. Whoa, you know we bout action. Whoa, you know we not lacking. Whoa, you matchups not matching. Whoa, jump up on the ropes, put my feet up in your face. No, we ain't tapping out, but you ain't but this way. Whoa, guerrilla tactics. Hey.
And then he gave me this other part later on in the record that I ended up chopping up and adding to and making the intro and also follow that hook.
Ain't nobody really than gorilla. Ain't nobody really than gorilla. I said, ain't nobody really than gorilla. Ain't nobody really than gorilla.
So went from there, mixed that down, and then it went into me doing the intro and trying out this CB radio idea that Tama had pitched to me. So I had some radio static, and then I took my vocals, I actually recorded the vocals myself, ran my voice through a guitar amp, and then shelved off everything below 1K on the EQ and boosted the high end, which is where we get the intro to everything. And then from there, it was just kind of rearranging everything and structuring the song and formatting the song. But I felt like it was missing something. And I started to think, all right, you know, with that intro and, you know, GOD's on the way and they've just landed, like what is going to cause like more havoc in this record? And it was, what if I throw an air raid siren in there? Maybe that'll give me what I need. And sure enough, that's what I did, and it couldn't have worked out more perfect. And that's how I made G.O.D. Firing Squad, the entrance music for Guerrillas of Destiny.
Ain't nobody realer than Gorilla. Ain't nobody realer than Gorilla. I said, ain't nobody realer than Gorilla. Ain't nobody realer than Gorilla.